Shackle shack with a fat New Orleans junkie, the charismatic cholo, so some say was born plain lucky. He cruised the streets of Juarez in his low-cut Eldorado, a fine commander, old slick, and a brash and bold bravado. Mother Mary said, your time has come. For the river's wide, but can be fought and won. For the very love of God and man. Ooh, Jesus crossed the Rio Grande.
And that was Muddy Jesus by Long Tall Deb and the Werewolves of Alabama. Personal favorites of mine. You can catch that on the album Raise Your Hands at longtalldeb.com. This is the Lori and Carlin Show, coming to you on GoneRogueRadio.com. We are coming to you from Steiner Speakeasy in Chillicothe, Ohio. I'm Carlin Hagerty.
I'm Lori Graves.
And let's just ask our beautiful hostess what we're drinking tonight.
Miss Tara Gillum.
Yes.
As always, every week Tara's going to pick out a brewery for us to drink some beers.
Before we do that, I thought we talked about her sitting next to me.
I'm not sitting by you anymore.
She doesn't want to, Carlin.
I don't want to. It's in my contract that if I appear on this radio show, I do not have to sit by you.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, it's in a rider. Stay the hell away from Carlin.
Yeah.
But Tara, what brewery have you chose for us to drink from this week?
This week I chose my favorite, Stone Brewing. And Lori, you are drinking their coffee milk stout. It is a little bit light for a stout. It's a low ABV, which means lower alcohol content, because I know you got a little schmammer face this weekend.
It's going down a little tough for you, Lori.
Yeah, it's good, but yeah, I appreciate the low alcohol content of my beer selection this evening.
Yeah, I got that.
Yes, it was. It was very rough.
And then Carlin, you are drinking Cali Belgique, which is a mix West Coast IPA Belgian yeast strain beer.
West Coast IPA, what does that term mean?
A West Coast IPA is it's basically the difference between a West Coast and the East Coast is West Coast tend to be a little bit more hop forward, where East Coast IPAs are a little bit more well balanced. And so then when you add that Belgian yeast strain in to that IPA, it kind of creates a really cool flavor profile.
Very cool.
Nice. We learn something about beer every week from Tara, so I appreciate it.
She's beautiful and functional. You just can't beat her.
She is, and we're going to talk to her later on in the show about what she's got coming up, and she might have a funny bar story for us from the weekend, or you never know. Tara, too, is kind of hanging, I think.
It's been a long weekend.
We all had a rough weekend. Carlin and I did a show in Pomeroy, Carlin.
Yep, Friday night we went down to the Court Street Grill. Jackie Welker and staff treated us wonderfully. We had, I would say, probably a 85 to 90% packed house. A lot of seats were filled.
I just know it was so crowded I couldn't get to the bathroom without sucking it in and rubbing my boobs on someone's back. So.
Well, that's just part of the, allure and the je ne sais quoi of Court Street Grill. Had a good show. We had, I opened it up. Then Tyler Stewart, we handed off to him. He did a pretty good set. You were very funny. Of course, you did your obligatory Rip Carlin's ass for about 10 minutes before you started.
Of course.
And then Marcus Oglesby took us home, and everybody was just rolling in the floor. He rocked the house.
I love Marcus. He always does a good job on shows for us when we bring him to town.
He's pretty awesome. If you get a chance to see Marcus Oglesby from Hurricane, West Virginia, go see that young man.
Is it Hurricane?
Yes.
Because I always say Hurricane, but then, yeah.
Well, that's just like over near Athens. Chauncey is Chancey, not Chauncey.
Oh, see, here in Chillicothe, we say Chauncey. We church it up a little bit, make it, But then I also say the roof on my house, so I really can't.
You kids in your damn book learning.
I know.
So we had a good time at Pomeroy. The food was amazing. Did you get a chance to eat when you were down there?
The only thing I had a chance to get, because I can't eat before I go on stage, it makes me burp. So at the end of my set, I ordered those little hot pepper cheese balls.
Yeah.
Tara, holy crap, these things. It was a real light breading, almost like a panko breading, and it was hot pepper cheese balls deep fried. Money. They were good. What'd you have?
I had shrimp po' boy. Very good.
Oh, nice.
I'm telling you.
Their menu looked very extensive. I heard their burgers were great and everything. So, Court Street Grill in Pomeroy is where it's at.
It's a good place to be. They were wonderful to us, and hopefully we can go back and see them again soon.
Hopefully.
Now, last night turned into something, Lori. What do you think about that?
Yeah, last night we did a show. Tara referenced to that I called her this morning about. We did a show at the Lafayette Hotel in Marietta. That's where Carlin actually is the host there every Saturday. What are the months you there host?
November through March, every Saturday.
Yeah. Carlin hosts a show there. They do one every week, and they bring in touring comics. I got a guest spot on the show last night, so I got to roll down there and be a part of that. Headliner Jeff Blanchard out of Cleveland, and Owen Thomas, the feature, out of Toledo. We got to see our buddy Dave McPherson from Blues Cowboy, the band.
He showed up to support us.
Yeah, Dave's awesome. He owns Buck's Riding Stable. He's got a little place out in Vinton County that we do shows. And
in Marshfield, Ohio.
Yeah, great little venue. I was happy to see Dave. I know his wife had some trouble at her hip or something.
She fell down, and I don't know if we need to put it all on Front Street, but
yeah. She
had a little issue anyway. It was nice of him to come out. They had done a benefit earlier in the evening over at a high school over there. The Blues Cowboys did, and then he just popped in. And it was really cool.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. We also, the reason we were in Marietta last night is we went to celebrate Carlin's birthday, which was a week ago, and he had a chance to celebrate. And wow, did we! I know Carlin drank liquor, and Carlin never drinks liquor. I was drinking like 2008 Lori, which we all know that's a hot mess.
The buckets full of Jello syringes just blew me away.
Oh, because those girls. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna get a little crude here, but that girl was at the bar, and she said, "I can't take it all at once." I said, "What? You can't take a dick?" I mean, I don't know what it was a little syringe. I was like, whatever. But the bar we went to after. Okay, let me clarify. This did not happen at the Lafayette. It's a very nice.
No, this was across the street in the little place that shall remain nameless.
We were outside waiting on Carlin, my friend and I looked at this gentleman and I said, "Hey, what's that across the street?" Because there was no signage. I just had the two green light bulbs out in front. And I'm like, "Hey man, what's that place?" And this guy said, "Oh," he's like, "You don't want to go there." And he said, "You don't want to go there." But what I heard was, "Oh, Lori, you really have to go over there and check that out."
This is why I love you, your adventurous spirit. You're not afraid of nothing.
And I knew the minute if they don't have their name outside, I want to go in there. And everyone at the Lafayette said, "Don't go there, don't go there." So of course we went. We went across the street, and the funny thing was, we were asking the kids. It was a bunch of kids. There was like a little dance place, and we did have a good time. But the kids out front, I said, "Well, hey, they told us not to come here." And this kid said, "Oh no. You're okay here. You really don't want to go to the place around the corner." And I was telling Carlin a little bit ago, when I heard him say, "You really don't want to go to the place around the corner."
The tone of voice just said something, didn't it?
In my mind, I heard, "Hey, you really don't want to go to the place around the corner." Because if the seedy people are telling you about more seedy people,
exactly,
you really need to pay attention to that.
We pretty much went as deep into the gene pool as we wanted to in Marietta.
And it was fantastic. It was people watching to the 10th degree. I'm telling you what, I wish we need to have some kind of group field trip back down there.
Okay, you need to tell the tramp stamp comment, because that just tickled my ivories.
Well, everyone down there had a tramp stamp. I mean, and I know they were popular back in the day, and I know everybody makes fun of them, but in my under the alcohol influence self standing there, I looked at my buddy and I said, "Hey man," I was like, "don't hook up with any of these women with a tramp stamp." I was like, "You don't know how many guys have used that shit for target practice." And in my Jameson state of mind, I put that on my Facebook, which, then my friends with tramp stamps made some hysterical comments. And I wasn't,
that girl that said her husband uses it for target practice?
Yeah, I mean,
God love her.
God love my friends. They're
real. Your friends are real.
Post anything after midnight, like, "Oh, Lori's hitting the Jameson." And like I said, I do apologize to Marietta. I was 2008 Lori last night. She doesn't make an appearance that often.
Congratulations. Apparently you own the corner of a bar.
Yeah. Tell my friends listening. 2008 Lori almost got into a bar fight last night. That was fun. But it wasn't just a bar fight. I was defending those guys.
Yeah.
They were ordering drinks, and some guy sitting next to me.
He was an ass.
Yeah, and he said, I'm making comments. I told him he was an asshole. And he said, "Why don't you mind your own business?" I'm like, "Because this is my corner of the bar." And he's like, "Oh, you own it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I own this corner of the bar." He said, "Well, I wasn't aware you own part of this bar." I said, "I do, this corner right here." And that's kind of what started it. But I verbally talked him out of that bar.
Yeah.
Which kudos to me. I didn't have to swing. But
now, full disclaimer, at this point in time, my panties were in a bunch, and I was outside sobbing uncontrollably because I wasn't no part of that shit.
Yeah, Carlin ran. Carlin ran, and I'm at the bar, the woman. But when that guy did leave, all the guys around me said that was the most beautiful thing they'd ever heard at a bar. So
He was just a bully, and I thought it was cool that you stood up to him because he was just trying to make those other kids feel bad.
Well, and we talked about bartenders on the last show. I get it. It's 1:30, 20 till 2. Everybody's trying to get their last call drink. I get it. The place is busy. And these guys were ordering drinks that took about 18 steps, and it was slowing the process up. But still, they had money. I mean, it was, and they weren't being, buttholes about it. They were just, and they even looked over at me and said, sorry. I'm like, it's okay, guys. I can wait.
They just want their drinks.
I'm drunk enough. For me to wait a few more minutes for another shot, that's probably a good thing.
Might have saved your life.
Yeah. But so 2008, Lori made an appearance in Marietta last night. It was a real good time.
Well, you made an impression. Everybody at the Hotel Lafayette loved you. Your set was amazing. You handled the crowd really well. What we have, the room holds about 125 people, and I bet we had 90 to 100 people in there.
I bet we did. Yeah, they were really gracious. Even the lady that had the ding ding headband on with the little ding dings flopping back and forth on her headband.
Well, I made my closer joke about her. If you wear a party hat and yell surprise, and she thought that was funny. And then Jeff Blanchard played with her for a little while. Apparently, it was their wedding night.
Well, they were celebrating. I guess they'd got married. Nobody in their family had really done anything for them, and their friends got together and decided to take them out one night. So it was kind of it was kind of bachelorette after the fact of getting married party.
Well, traditionally, comedians don't like the wedding parties, the bachelorette parties, the birthday parties, because what happens is you get a table full of people who want all the attention to be on them. And I'm sorry to sound like an arrogant jerk or somebody conceited, but when I go up on stage, all the attention needs to be on me. That's what I'm paid for. That's what you paid to see. Come up and listen to what I've got to say.
Well,
Your
that
turn
was
to me.
Really arrogant of you to say, Carlin.
Well, it's a fact of life, and if you can't deal with it.
The world revolves around Carlin now, ladies
4 or
and
5 minutes every Saturday night in Marietta, Ohio. Yes, it freaking does. Yes, it freaking does.
Hey, speaking of the world revolving around you, you want to jump into your segment. We're doing a weekly segment with Carlin and myself, but Carlin's kind of taking the reins on it and doing most of it because he gets to work with the out-of-town comics Lafayette that I don't get to see every week. And it's 5 questions with, and Carlin, who did you get to talk to this week with your 5 questions?
Got to hang out with Adam Dodd and Wes Martins. Adam's from New York City. He is a guitar comic. He absolutely rocked the house. We had a blast. He does song parodies. He makes up songs on people's names. He really goes after it. He put on a show for 1 hour, and he came off. He was drenched in sweat. I mean, he left it all out there. It was fun.
That's awesome.
It is awesome because I don't know. It looks easy when somebody goes up on stage and does stand up. If they do it right, it does. But to see somebody that just puts all their energy into it and their heart into it, that was awesome. And then the other gentleman that I talked to them both at the same time, was Wes Martins, and he is from Virginia, and he's been around forever and a day, and he was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and do 5 questions with Adam and Wes. And we are here tonight at the Hotel Lafayette. We just finished a show in the gun room. I am here with my very good friends, Mr. Adam Dodd and Wes Martins. 5 questions. I'll just throw out the first question. How long have you been doing comedy? We'll go to Adam Dodd first.
I started when I was I did talent shows. Like, I've always wanted to do comedy. Started real young.
Just answer the question.
Right. Probably 7 years, man. Total.
Come on, you're too good for 7 years.
All right, 15. I mean, I've been doing it ever since I was a kid. But like, the first time I actually did an open mic, I think I was like 19. So let's say I've been doing it for 10 years.
Okay, very good.
But like headlining, it's not been too long. I mean, it's been.
You headlined last year when you came through.
I did, yeah. I've been headlining for probably like 3 or 4, but
awesome.
Still trying to work everything out.
Very cool. How about you, Wes? How long have you been doing comedy?
14 years.
14 years. Any great story as to why you started or how you got started?
I got started. I was doing a lot of improv when I lived in California, and my group performed at the Irvine Improv, and that's when I found my mentor, who was giving comedy classes.
Awesome. What's changed in the 10 years that you've been performing comedy, Adam?
What's changed with me or with comedy?
With comedy, I would say. I don't care about you.
Right. I don't know, man. I think that I'm I'm envious of like the guys that are older than me that are doing it, because they always talk about how there used to be so many more opportunities to get on stage, back in the day than there are now. Like, I would love to get on stage 5 nights a week, 3 times a night, go from venue to venue, place to place, and work out stuff. And I really don't see anywhere that's running shows like that.
And you just recently moved to New York City. Is that one of the reasons why you moved to New York City, for more opportunities?
Yeah. I know that in New York, there's a show every night. There's shows start at 4 in the afternoon. You can get on stage 8 times a night. And that's kind of like what I like, man. I like the thrill of moving from one stage to the next, and maybe doing the same bit over and over again, just to kind of polish it. And
cool.
I wish I could have grown up when comedy was in its prime, and I could have gotten on stage.
It seemed like in the '80s was the heyday of comedy, and everybody had a special. How about you? What's changed for you?
In the last decade?
Yeah.
I've gotten about 6 years older.
6 years older. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Aging gracefully.
What would you say your best or most memorable gig was? Doesn't have to be best, just most memorable.
Well, I started. Oh man, there was a room in D.C. called the Riot Act Comedy Club, and that was right around the time that I started wearing bandanas, right? And so I would wear these bandanas on stage, and a lot of guys would give me crap for them, who wears bandanas anymore? But I did one show wearing a bandana, and I got off stage, and a lady came up to me, and she told me that she loved the bandana. It was a great look. She thinks I should continue to wear it, and it was Patty Scalfia. It was
Patty Saflia.
Yes, it was Springsteen's wife.
Yeah, Springsteen.
So that was cool. Like, she was digging the bandana, and
she actually paid attention to you.
Yeah, she talked to me afterwards and was like, and I kind of didn't know who it was at the time, but then afterwards they were like, do you know who that is? Who that was? And then I Googled her and found, I was like, wow, that is her. And then I started looking at pictures of Springsteen in his prime wearing bandanas, and I was like, you know what, I'll continue.
Well, very cool.
Was he a Blood or a Crip?
Oh man, I think he was a Blood. But yeah, I think he was a Blood.
Depends if he was in a red state or a blue state.
Right. Well, he
Exactly.
changed.
Yeah.
Wes, what would you say one of your most memorable or best gigs was?
Was it a nudist resort in Desert Hot Springs? Wow. And they always talk about envision the audience naked. Well, 3/4 of the audience was naked. There was a giant hot tub.
That's got to be hard to keep your train of thought.
It was hard. It got hard.
Okay. On that.
You didn't have to perform naked, did you?
No,
Oh.
they encouraged us to.
Right.
But, that came later.
They've got
That was after.
They've got a room in New York that does one night a month or every couple of weeks of naked comedy. The comedians get up there naked and do their sets. I can't think of what the name of it is. I've heard about it a bunch of times on Robert Kelly's podcast, and he's talked
Kind of
about
a hangout place.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Worst gig?
This is funny. I won't turn down a gig. I kind of will do any of them, but I drove 12 hours from Virginia to Indiana for it was supposed to be a 2 nights. Turned out to be a 1 night. And when I got there, the stage where we were supposed to be performing, the mic was right near a bar that was packed full of people with TVs on. It was loud, and they had a blue tarp, just a typical blue tarp, hanging up
To divide the room?
To divide the room, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It was just a blue tarp hanging from the ceiling, and
12 hours to do
12
comedy
hours
to a blue tarp.
12-hour drive to do a one-nighter to a blue tarp. Yeah.
You never
Awesome.
know what you're going to get. Right?
Exactly.
How about you, Wes?
Worst hell gig? When I was first starting, a guy invited me to do he's hey man, you got to do my club. And I was just totally, ingratiated to the guy. And so I said, what's the name of your club? He said, it's called Dario's. And I got to Dario's, and the sign said, Dario's by the slice.
Pizza place.
Pizza place.
Very
In
cool.
front of 2 people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Adam, what advice would you give for a novice or a new comic coming up?
I would give advice that I took that I think really helped me. You know, that's get up on stage. I mean, it's your cliche, get on stage as much as you can. But that's, if you love comedy and you want to progress and you really love what you're doing, try to do it in front of as many people as you can. Like I love doing it. I'll go anywhere. I'll go and do any show that's offered to me. You know, I like to get on stage as much as I can, and that helped me a lot. You know, whether or not it's a hell gig or it's a great gig, whether there's 2 people or there's a tarp or it's a packed room, I just love being behind the mic, and I would give that advice. You know, just if you have a passion for it and you know it's something you want to do it as often as possible, and you know, don't get discouraged if there is only 2 or there's a tarp or.
Very cool.
You know, but just.
I think the gigs, the hell gigs though, they toughen your skin a little bit. And then when you come into a place tonight where the people have paid money to see comedy and it's their big night out, they pay a little more attention to you, and it kind of makes it. It's never easy, but it's easier by proxy. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give, Wes?
My advice would be to take Adam's advice.
Okay.
And that is to because I started way too late. I didn't pick up the microphone until I was 53, which was when stuff started to get
6
funny.
months ago. Wow.
Thank you. And, yeah. But I wish I had started younger. I wish I had started in my 20s. I'd already be in rehab by now. And
You'd have probably been paroled and out.
Probably.
And everything would have been good.
I've been in and out of that place 5 or 6 times.
It's not for quitters.
No.
Well, let's get the plugs in. Adam, where can people find you online?
TheAdamDodd.com.
TheAdamDodd.com. TheAdamDodd.com.
Yep,
does that mean that there's an AdamDodd.com that you
There
couldn't
is.
buy?
I couldn't get it. It's a snowboarder / photographer who.
Wow.
Are notoriously pricks.
Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So I had to get the Adam Dodd. I originally had Adam-Dodd. I didn't like that, so I had to get the Adam Dodd.
Adam Dodd. You sure it just wasn't an ego thing? I'm
No,
the
that's
Adam
true.
Dodd.
I swear-
I think you requested it.
I'd prefer Adam
You've been
Dodd.
such a diva and prima donna tonight. I know you're the Adam Dodd.
The thing is that funny thing. I had a buddy running my website, the Adam Dodd, and I've had T-shirts done, and I've had guitar picks made with that on there, and my CDs have the Adam Dodd. And I worked really hard on my website, and my buddy that was running it let it expire without telling me. So one day I went to go check my own website, and it belonged to a lawyer out of California with the same name, and it was the Adam Dodd with his picture, him in a suit, his links and all that. And I contacted that guy and explained to him what had happened, and he sold it back to me. He could have done it. He could have charged me whatever he wanted, And he sold it back to me for $30, and I got my domain back. Yeah,
What a guy.
Yeah.
So, the Adam Dodd in California to lawyers, a stand-up dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
It's got links to all my other stuff,
Okay.
my fan page on Facebook, my YouTube page, my Twitter, all that stuff.
Cool. What about you, Wes? Where do we find you at?
I got my domain name, wesmartens.com. Not Wes Martinez.
No.
Not Wes Martins.
WesMartens.com.
Exactly.
WesMartens.com.
Very obscure site.
Well, I wouldn't say that because you're not a very obscure man. You strike quite an imposing figure.
You had Marietta.
That's 2 weeks in a row the comics have bagged on Marietta. I don't like you fuckers' attitudes. I'm just going to say
to
that.
places.
This is
what
great.
Just keeps me going.
And thank you, Carlin, for the second year in a row with the candy, man.
It's just to explain a little backstory. I'm the new guy in comedy, and I try to make myself memorable, and so anyone that I share a stage with, I always make sure I give candy to. Now, the courts have made sure that I make most definitely clear that everybody's over 24 years old before I give them candy, but other than that, we're good.
Yeah, you can put your pants back on whenever we're done doing this podcast.
Get back in your white van and go.
It's hot in here. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. This has been 5 Questions with Adam Dodd and Wes Martens. Please follow them on Facebook and at their websites, and we'll see you next week. And that was 5 Questions with Adam Dodd and Wes Martens. And as you can tell, we had a lot of fun. Great guys, a lot of fun. Lori, didn't you get a chance to talk to Mr. Brian Day recently?
Yes, I did. Brian appeared here at Steiner's. and did a live show. Tom Edwards does a series here called Behind the Strings. And
Lori, can you tell me something about this gentleman? I've never had a chance to meet him, and I don't really know much about him.
oh, okay, sure. Brian, I met Brian through my friend David Huffman from Jacob Freely. When I was booking bands, he recommended Brian's band, Yellow Light Maybe.
Okay.
Brian's from Cleveland, but he's based out of Columbus right now.
Awesome.
And Brian Douglas Day, he was the front man for Yellow Light Maybe. He's getting ready to put out a new CD, and I had the chance to get to hang out with him. And
you even talked him into doing a little tune for us, which was cool.
Yes, yeah, and we'll play that at the end of the show. I got a live song for us to go out with. But Brian came down to do, like I said, to do Tom Edwards' Behind the Strings series. And it's the thing where you come here to Steiner's, you get a lyric sheet so you can follow along with the musician. And they talk about their songs and what the song meaning, the writing went behind that and stuff. Kind of like the VH1, you like it back behind, but it's
it's
behind the
live.
strings, and it's live. And there's limited tickets for it when they do it. So if you catch it and hear about it on social media, I suggest buying a ticket to it immediately because it will sell out. But I did get a chance to talk to Brian Douglas Day about his upcoming CD and about some music. So here is my little interview with Mr. Brian Douglas Day. All right, and we are sitting here talking with Brian Douglas Day, Cleveland native, went to OU, based out of Columbus. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
He is a musician. We just listened to him play some music here at Steiner Speakeasy, where we broadcast from every week. And you'll be hearing a Brian Douglas Day song taking us out of the show tonight. So, Brian, it's good to see you again, my friend. I haven't seen you for a while.
It's been way too long.
It has been.
I'll
Brian
take the
and
blame.
Well, and I will
take the
too.
blame.
Brian and I have a lot of drunken history together nights. I think there was probably a 2-year stretch when every time I saw you, we got hammered.
It might be more than that, but yeah.
Might be more than that, yeah. My favorite memory with you is when I went into King Avenue 5 and you guys stopped playing in the middle of a song. Brian was in a band called Yellow Light Maybe.
Buy that woman a shot.
Yeah, I walk in, they stop playing, whole bar turns around, looks at me, and Brian says in the microphone, "Bartender, give that lady 3 shots of Jameson, showing what to do with them." And the rest of the night, I got free shots of Jameson from everybody in that bar. I was
nice.
hammered. That was a good show, though. So how you doing, friend?
I'm good.
Good.
It's good to be back here.
It is good to see you in Chillicothe.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking out loud about when the last time I was here. I know I played here at the Speakeasy in November, but before that, I was at the bank with you.
Yeah?
Close.
Yeah?
Then I was at the pub before that with Tara.
Yeah.
She left, so I left.
Yeah?
And before that, I was at the Keys with you.
Yeah.
For
we
like
had
2
you down.
years.
Yeah.
So I want to say I've been down here. I used to be down here regularly for almost 4 years.
Yeah. I listened to you. I realized how much I've missed you and your music.
I know.
We need to get more connected on that.
I know. I do miss it down here. Everybody is super nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
always...
don't see you guys being nice to each other.
No, we're not. We're a hateful bunch of people. We yeah.
No, not everybody, but people know each other here.
Yeah.
But people have always been very nice to me.
Well, the smell of mead makes us hateful. The paper mill makes us hateful.
I saw that, which is really
hilarious.
stupid.
If you want to get into that lawsuit, I could probably get you a sheet. You can fill it out and
I'd
get
have to
some
come
money.
back and talk about it sometime.
Yeah, you can say that when you're down here playing, the smell offends you and you need some money out of it, I think.
Yeah, it's just a cheap way out.
Yeah, it is a cheap way out. Brian, I want to talk to you a little bit about your music. How long have you been a musician now?
I picked up a guitar when I was 19. I am 29. I just said that.
That's all right.
I just said that out loud.
It's okay. I'm 43, dude. It's okay.
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah.
33.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll go with your story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How did you get? I know your family. You have musicians in your family.
Grew up in a family of musicians. Tried the piano and trumpet when I was little. Quit because I sucked. And then I went to OU to play golf, believe it or not. And somebody put a guitar in my hand in the dorms in my sophomore year, and I fell in love. Quit the golf team, started a band, and now we're here.
I know. So the trumpet was one of your first instruments. I played the trumpet in high school marching band.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't, but the guitar gets you more chicks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not initially though, because from what I hear, band camp is
the real deal in high school.
Yes,
And if I would have
yes.
stuck with it through junior high into high school, I would have got to experience all that good stuff.
I'm kind of glad you did, and we might not be friends.
That's
I don't know.
true.
I do.
Good point.
His lovely girlfriend Erica is here tonight.
She
so
is.
She
She can't
is.
hear
She's
me
in the
though
back
right now.
somewhere. Yeah, she can't hear us. We're here at Steiner's with a crowd. If you hear somebody randomly walk by and yell shit out, it's because we're at the bar.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Brian, yeah, early influences. Was it your family, or did you have? I mean, what picked up? Because your style of music I like because it is uniquely you. So how did you put that together?
You know, that's a good question because I'm trying to go back into like the first couple of songs that I wrote. I remember writing, and I definitely drew on like a classical influence because my dad was an orchestra and jazz conductor. He played the Great American Songbook, and you know, for his second job. And I drew on that, but as far as writing goes, I initially just remember stealing styles from the guys that taught me in the dorms, you know,
Nice.
which means I guess I was lucky that I got put into Boyd Hall when I was 19 around some musicians, honestly.
That is like you said.
But,
OU
you know,
was your influence.
Yeah,
so,
it really was. And but as far as artists go, like when I started writing, it was very early. It was like Green Day just came out with American Idiot. That's when Jack Johnson blew up. So anybody who's about my age will remember those two artists, and I guarantee we're influenced by them at some point. But I was still fortunate enough to be in Athens when the music scene was still existent, and I feel like it's not anymore. So at the age of 19, I didn't have a fake, but I knew enough people to get into venues, and I remember just being blown away by, you know, the chemistry in a band and what that looked like, and I immediately wanted to become good enough to start my own. So
Now
that's
your
what I did.
band Yellow Light Maybe, is that how many bands have you been in? Is that your main
It's
band?
the same band, but we went by the name of 2EB, which is short for the Second Elliott Band, because we practiced on Elliott Street, and then everybody thought we were a Third Eye Blind cover band. 3EB, 2EB, it's confusing as fuck. So I was like, we gotta drop this. So we changed it to Yellow Light Maybe, and that was still confusing as shit, and it's probably why we're not together anymore, because we had two shitty names.
Oh no, Yellow Light Maybe was good. But now I know some of the guys in the band with you went to OU with you, right? So
When we started, yeah, they were all there.
they were all there. So you guys you're a legit Ohio University band.
That's
then.
where it started,
Yeah, yay for OU. At least they
Go
pumped out
Bobcats.
something. Yeah,
That's right.
I know.
You know, Red, White, and Blue is, you know, they did too. I mean, there's tons of bands. Red, White, and Blue is still kicking. God bless them. But
Yeah, but you do a lot of stuff in Columbus area now. You play up
That's what
there,
I do.
every night of the week, I think? You're
7
playing
nights a
somewhere?
week. I think they give me like Christmas and Christmas Eve off.
Maybe.
That's about it.
You're like a government worker
I
then.
know, it's
Yeah.
fucking terrible. That's not
was-
true. I love it. But yeah, I play 5 nights a week. almost.
5 nights a week. So you are a career musician. That's what you're
Yes.
doing right now.
Yeah.
And I know tonight here at Center Speakeasy you did their Behind the Strings series,
Mm-hmm.
which is a singer-songwriter thing, and you got up and did your songs, and you gave the background and info what you influenced in writing them. I haven't seen you for a while, so
Mm-hmm. I know.
I noticed a lot of new songs on here, which is
Yes.
leading me to believe that Brian Douglas Day is coming out with a new project. Tell me about
Yes. Well, it's just under my name, Brian Douglas Day, and you know, I wrote most of the songs with Yellow Light Maybe, but that was a band name, and not to confuse people, you know, I was the man behind most of those songs. I was fortunate to play with those guys. But now, it's just me, and I've continued writing since we stopped playing together, and it's time for me to get it out there, and it took me forever to save enough money to record them. So I'm recording 5 songs right now. I've got about 12 that I'd like to record.
Now, you did a song tonight. You mentioned Elliott earlier. Is that a
Yes.
street in Athens?
Elliott and Miller is an intersection in Athens. Yeah, 2 streets.
And did you live on Elliott and Mill, or?
No, our band practiced on Elliott a lot, and the song is actually about meeting the girl that can't hear us talking right now on that corner.
Because I noticed tonight Brian played a song called Elliott and Mill. It says it's one of your new songs. It's going to be on your new project?
No, it didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut?
It's going to be on the next one.
On the next one.
Next
So
one.
there's more in
There's
store
more to
for
come.
us.
Yeah.
So a lot of your songs you like maybe now are available on iTunes, right?
They're all still on there, yeah.
All still on iTunes, and
Yeah, all 3 of them. 3 studio albums we did, yeah.
3 studio albums. So yeah, I do. And you guys have a reunion show coming up, correct?
May 15th at the Shrunken Head in Columbus, yeah.
And are tickets, is that a pay at the door thing, or they're
We're
tickets?
actually going to
or?
set something up online where you can get them pre-sale, but it'll be
I
$10
imagine
at
that'll
the
sell
door.
out.
It will sell out. It's only it's a small room, and that's what we wanted, maybe 120 capacity. But it's billed as, we're not the Yellow Light Maybe members, but some other musicians are going to join me and play my new music.
Okay.
And then Yellow Light Maybe's going to get up there and play the old hits.
Now, you said other musicians are joining you. Are you creating a new band right now with your new project? Or are
I
you still
do
doing
have
solo? Or?
PJ Schreiner was the drummer in Yellow Light Maybe. He actually
Love PJ.
played drums
And his
on
very
the new
talented
stuff.
girlfriend,
His
Erica
very
Blinn,
talented,
yes.
gorgeous girlfriend, Erica Blinn, is a Columbus native and musician as well. He plays with her. Recently engaged. Congratulations.
Yes,
to both
congratulations. They're good peeps.
of them. They are. Our bowling league, actually, I had to miss tonight, so I wonder how the Gutter Sluts did without
You're
me.
on a bowling league?
The Gutter Sluts.
Nice, the gutter
Yeah,
sluts. Yeah,
with PJ and Erica.
This is a new thing about you. I didn't know this. I
My
didn't know
parents
this.
met in a bowling alley, so it's kind of in my blood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Music and bowling.
Yeah, it's
The day.
music and bowling and a Cleveland Indians obsession.
You do. Speaking of Cleveland Indians, did
Yes.
you play the national anthem again this past year?
I have twice, 2 summers in a row.
Twice. The first time I managed to come up and catch you on that one. I
You
missed you this
did?
past summer, but
They asked me again this year.
I was going to say it's going to be a recurring thing with you.
I hope so.
Yeah. Would you ever sing the national
Give
anthem
me
at a
free
Reds
tickets?
game?
No.
No?
I would not.
Never? Never.
no,
Just
I would do
yeah,
it.
yeah, no. Well,
If
you
they
might.
give me free tickets, and if they're playing the Indians.
They're playing the Indians.
Right.
Because you are a huge Indians fan. You a football fan?
Well, I was named after Brian Sipe, who was a Browns quarterback, so I kind of have to be.
You kind of, well, you're from Cleveland, so you kind of have to like the Browns. Yeah.
I have to, and honestly, I'm so fucking over them. Like, I just don't even care anymore.
Well, I'm a Tampa Bay fan, and they are the Browns of Florida.
Oh, we just
so-
got your quarterback.
Yeah, so
He sucks.
good luck to you on that.
Sucks.
Yeah, good luck. Every
Right.
day I get that alert on my phone. I'm like, could we pick up shitty today? You know,
Nah.
it's like it's always yeah. But we can.
Thanks for that, Lori.
Well, you're welcome.
Great.
Anything we can do to
I
help
don't
you.
even care anymore.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
don't. Go
What do you
try
got?
though.
What's the projected date for your new project coming out? So.
The project is called My Mountain is the name of the EP. It should be out in May. It will be out in May or I'm going to kill somebody. And, just 5 tracks, but 5 tracks that I poured my heart and soul and time into. It sounds good. I'm ready to get it out there.
Well,
But
I
as soon
know-
as it's done, I'm ready to start even more.
Yeah, based on tonight, I know Chillicothe is ready for more Brian Douglas Day. We've missed
I
you
gotta
down
get
here.
down here more.
I know we do.
And I want to come host this show.
You need to yeah.
Co-host.
You need to come co-host with us, definitely. Yeah.
And by
you
that I
could do
mean
some
like
live.
talk once every 3 minutes.
You could do some live songs like play in the background.
That'd be cool,
Do
yeah.
some live. Yeah, we'll work on that. Maybe get you. Maybe PJ can bring his little beatbox down. He
He
sits
could.
on hits, and we could
Yeah.
do a little PJ Brian reunion. We might even throw Erica in. You know.
Oh man. she's
Carlin,
great.
Carlin would love Erica. Carlin's a big perv, so he'd be.
Oh yeah, right.
We would have to move Erica to the other side of the room.
We'll bring some bodyguards too
Yeah.
if she comes down.
But a thing we like to ask comics that we interview on
Mm-hmm.
the show, and I'm going to ask you, since you're the first musician, actually, that you are the first musician we've interviewed for the show.
I popped the cherry.
You did. You popped the cherry. We like to ask people that are in our positions, if you could give a piece of advice to a newbie guy that's wanting to do some acoustic work or be in a band, and he's in a small town like we are in Ohio, basically, in a small area. We're not really in a big, metropolis. Even Columbus, for all its size, still basically is not, a hotbed of the music industry.
No, not
What
really.
kind of advice would you tell somebody in your shoes that was a 19-year-old like you were starting out? What would you tell them to do for your piece of advice? Brian Day's words of wisdom. What would you do?
Rule number 1 has got to be don't do it for the chicks.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Don't. Yeah.
It's just a bad idea. There she is. I'm getting flashed right now, folks. It's hard to concentrate.
Getting flashed. So it's Erica. You can say hi, Erica. It's okay.
Oh, I did.
You did say hi on the
Oh.
show. This is Erica.
Oh, no, I said
This is
hi.
Erica.
Brian's lovely. I think she just showed him her boobs, so got
Yeah,
distracted.
I'm all flustered. Don't do it for the chicks. You'll be disappointed. And secondly, don't ever turn down a gig. If you get to the point where you feel confident enough to play in front of people, whether it's cover music or your own, and somebody wants you to come over and play at their Chihuahua's first birthday party for free, just do it.
Take the gig.
Yeah. Never turn down a gig. You'll know it when you're at the point where you can pick and choose. But I, 10 years in, am still almost at the point where I still don't turn down a gig.
Yeah.
Unless I have something that conflicts with it. Because you never know who's going to hear you.
Right.
Or you never know what you're going to learn. You never know what great story you're gonna have. You learn something every time. Every second you're on stage, you learn something. Something goes wrong on stage, even as a comedian, every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's just a learning experience. Every single gig is. So honestly, that is A, never turn down a gig, and B, never stop listening to music, or comedians if that's your thing. Spare time, put on a record.
Yeah.
So those are the two most important things I can. And invest in a good guitar if we're talking guitars.
Yeah, we're talking guitar. Yeah.
Because you will develop an ear for a good guitar, and as soon as you hear somebody with a $99 hand-me-down,
They bought the pawn shop.
Yeah, it's just kind of invest. It'll pay you back. Just the way you sound. Your songs may not even be good, but if you sound good, you can fake people out.
Sure you can.
It's true. And I've made a career out of that, faking people out.
Oh, I did it as a bartender. I faked people out.
Right.
What liquor's in that? Vodka, what color is it? Red? Here you go.
Yeah,
it's easy. So yeah, you can do that. It's perfect. But, all right, Brian, we did enjoy you here at Steiner's tonight. I am going to probably choose my favorite song of yours to close up the show tonight, bring the band back. It's one of my favorites as I met you. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear that at the close of the show. I'd like to thank Brian Douglas Day and his project coming out in May called My Mountain. Right. You can still find all of his Yellow Light Maybe music on iTunes. Please buy those because, like comedians...
It's on Spotify, too, if you want to listen to work.
It's on Spotify? There you go.
Yeah.
Like comics, musicians are poor, and
yes,
we need all the help.
Very.
We need all the 99 cents that you can afford to buy a song.
That's why she's got a good job.
Exactly, yeah. See, I need to get me one of those. Yeah,
right.
I need to go there.
Yeah.
But Brian, thanks for talking to us tonight. That was Brian Douglas Day here on GoneRogueRadio.com.
And that was Lori with our friend Brian Douglas Day, who, by the way, has a new CD coming out called My Mountain. And his other things from his project Yellow Light Maybe are on iTunes and also on BrianDouglasDay.com. Really nice guy. Really interesting to hear.
Brian is a great guy. He's a great guy. And he's pretty.
He's pretty?
And we call him BDD.
BDD?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Obviously that's his initials, but I understand. Now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. Lori, you and Tara look especially pissed off, and for once it's not my fault. So let's go to Lori and Tara's WTH of the week.
Yes, our What the Hell of the Week. I didn't really plan on talking about this until it blew up. Those of you that are on my Facebook know I sometimes post things and people take them over and make them their own little personal venue to get their 5 seconds of Facebook fame. But it's been brought to my attention, and here in Chillicothe we have a paper mill. There's a law firm out of Columbus, and they are trying to get people. Now, this is the WTH, and we'll talk about all this stuff that happened after I posted this. But, Carlin.
Yes.
These people are trying to get the citizens of Chillicothe to rally and sue the paper mill. Are you ready for this? For the smell.
Can I take one wild guess and say this is driven by lawyers?
Oh, it has to be. I mean, because the paper mill's been in town our whole lives. And I made the comment on Facebook. I said, how are people going to sue over a paper mill over a smell? It's a smell. And I said, do I know how to get to sue dirty asses at Walmart for not bathing? Because some of them get pretty ripe in July. I mean, are we getting to the point where we're going to sue over a smell? Now, I can understand if it was like out in California, I think it was, and then the people sued the pepper sauce place, because that actually, physically hurts you. This is just obnoxious. But I got a copy of the letter.
You know what cracks me up before we go into this? These are like the same idiots that move next to an airport and then complain about the noise.
Yeah.
What do you think? Everybody that has lived here before the mill came in can sue, and everybody that's moved in since?
Yeah.
Too bad.
I mean, you know it's coming. And some days it is strong. And I did make the comment, on a good day it smells like 10 dead mice in a 6x8 room. I mean, it does. But it's just, that's the meat. That's just the smell. And you can't really, it's a paper mill. Paper mill, wet wood smells. And how do they think you make paper? Out of pulp. It's wet. It's rotted. It's the smell. But I got a hold of the letter from the attorney company.
For those of you that can't be here tonight and see, Lori has a vein popping out on her forehead right now. Yeah. She's getting really torqued off.
Well, it's just like last week when we talked about the hookers and the park benches. Some things you just leave alone. But I did get a hold of the letter. A friend of mine got one that lives here in town. And it basically, but The main first paragraph, they said, we're currently investigating the possibility of bringing legal action against Chillicothe Paper Incorporated. And one of the next sentences says, odors which interfere with the use and enjoyment of your home may constitute a nuisance that may entitle you to compensation. So, I guess if there's a foul odor in your area, you can now sue the person that is offending you. I mean, let's be honest, I could sue Carlin right now.
I'm going to get sued by anyone who's ever taken a road trip with me.
Exactly.
I'm done.
You know what? So if I go into a public restroom after somebody takes a big dump and it smells, can I sue them for making my eyes water? I mean, well, I posted this on Facebook. Exactly. I mean, when are we going to stop? When are we going to stop with this madness? When you could sue for an odor, like I said, right now, Carlin's kind of right because he went out drinking last night and didn't shower. But am I going to hit Carlin with some kind of class action lawsuit? No. What Tara and I have done is we've moved a couple more inches away from him. That is what you do.
I walked into my hotel room.
Yes, you did. I did. I know.
I'm not really digging that at all. I'm feeling a little hurt. I walked into a hotel room last night into the bathroom and somebody had taken a nasty dump. They tried to put a little, antiperspirant in there, but it still smelled.
Yeah, you
bad.
know what? That was me because my stomach hurt on the way down there and I had to poop. That was a 2-hour drive, so you can drop that. Let's not be talking about what happened in hotel rooms last night. Exactly. See, all of a sudden, Carlin laughs really loud and just shuts the hell up on that. But I mean, yeah, this post got. This post got 192 likes and 140 comments. Now, I will give the people at Chillicothe props. They did comment on this a lot. Not props to the people that tried to hijack this and make this into peel and paint off of your cars or your houses or a health matter. This is not a health matter. That's the ridiculous of it. If they were trying to sue because someone got sick or because someone's home or property was damaged, this lawsuit is nothing but about a smell. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I hope the good people of Chillicothe do not fall into this trap and do this. But they even sent a questionnaire. I like the questionnaire. I don't even live in Chillicothe and I want to fill one out. The questionnaire, it says, how long have you experienced the odors at your home? Briefly describe how the odors affect your ability to use and or enjoy your home. So I guess now, the paper mill. And I want to tell these people, the smell and the odor has not affected them to enjoy their home. What it has allowed them to do is pay for that home. That's what the paper mill has done.
But the letter used the magic phrase, you may be entitled to compensation.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is it's like one of the new drugs now that mess people up, or the transvaginal mesh. That's what this is kind of now.
I'm having a lot of problem with that.
This is a mesh. This is nothing but a badge mesh.
Okay, well, I'm having a lot of issues with that.
I know. That's my WTH.
Terry, you're a little pissed off. What's going on with you, girl?
Well, we're recovering from St. Patrick's Day.
Greatest holiday of the year.
Awesome. Personally, one of my favorite holidays. I am not Irish, but I believe in some past life I must have been, because I drink Jameson like a fish. So I guess WTH is, now that St. Patrick's Day is over, we still have people coming in from the weekend. And they're like,
St. Patrick's Day was on a Tuesday.
Right.
St. Patrick's Day was Tuesday. Which is when we celebrated it.
Yes.
Because to me, St. Patrick's Day is one of those days where you
have the holiday on the holiday.
You have to celebrate it on the holiday.
Yes.
It's kind of like saying, well, New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday this year, so we're going to celebrate it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You can't count the ball down on Saturday.
That'd be kind of like me
because
wearing
that's more profitable for you.
Certainly. That'd be like me wearing my mistletoe belt buckle in July.
It's still, yeah. I mean, you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
And so we have people coming in and they're like, well, where's your green beer?
Where's your calendar?
Well, you don't have car bombs. Well, St. Patrick's Day was Tuesday.
Yeah, it's over. Let it go.
It's over.
Let it go. That is irritating. That is irritating.
It's like the same people that won't do Halloween anymore until Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Screw that. Halloween is on October 31st. It's at night. Send the kids around. If you're worried about their safety, go with them, dumbass.
Yeah, or don't go to that part of town. We all know where the meth is.
Sure.
Don't go to that part of town if you don't want your kids speeding around the house.
And
I got a needle, Mommy.
Yeah, I got a razor blade and a needle.
I totally get that people can't get hammered on a Tuesday. There's nothing that says because it's St. Patrick's Day that you have to get so obliterated you don't know your name.
Right, yeah.
You can celebrate St. Patrick's Day and still make it to work by 9 a.m.
Sure. Yeah, you can. Yeah, because like, just go out early and go home early. Which is what I do now, but that's because I realized I'm old. But still, I mean, just
It can happen.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay out till 2 a.m. because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
You can still celebrate.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So I guess that's, and people have been offended. And I've even had people say, well, not everybody can get hammered on a Tuesday.
Sure
Well,
you can.
looks like you missed out on St. Patrick's Day then. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
No one told you you had to be hammered to come through my door on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm
We
sorry.
take sober people. We like sober people.
We love sober people at bars.
Sober
Yes,
Why
we
don't
do.
you
people are fine.
why don't you take your March 21st St. Patrick's Day celebration and your little participation trophy and go sit with the rest of the losers, you ninny?
Did you just use the word ninny?
I used the word ninny because I didn't want to call somebody a stupid bastard.
It's because you're old.
I am old. You guys talking about St. Patrick's Day makes me think about black and tans. And I learned this really cool story about black and tans. Now, I was taught to make them from Guinness and Harps. And Guinness is a stout, and it's a very dark, heavy-looking beer. And it floats on top of the Harps. And if you mix it right, there's an actual lighter part with the Harps in the bottom and the Guinness is on top. And Guinness has a smoky flavor and taste, and that's where the British broke into the Irish kegs and their breweries, and they burnt all the kegs of beer. And that's all they had to drink, so they drank it anyway, and that's where the smoky taste came from. Now, they have the British or the Irish with their sense of humor. They made the black and tan because that's the only time that the Irish pour over the British. And black and tans are called half and halves in Ireland because the black and tans name is actually referred to as the Royal Irish Constabulary Reserve Force, and that's kind of a bad connotation, so that's where we do that from.
And that was Tara and I's "What the hell are you talking about?" Carlin moment of the week. I love it how Carlin just goes off on some ridiculous but what Tara and I have been laughing about this whole time is that Carlin is referring to the beer Harp as Harps. Is that like the Walmarts or what, the Family Dollars?
No, one thing. I say one thing wrong, and that's what it's come to.
The Harps, Tara.
The Harps.
I will come in and get at the Harps.
Well, we don't have the Harps.
You don't have the Harps here at Steiner's? No.
Wow.
Harps. Really, Carlin? Really?
I freaking hate both of you right
I
now.
know. He's mad because he can't touch Tara's boobs, and he's just mad at me because I was with him 3 days last week. Hey, I celebrated your birthday with
Yes,
you
you
this week.
did, and we did hard.
I put my life on the line and went out with you in public 3 days in a row. That's my reputation, Carlin.
Last night was epic. That's all I can say. Last night was epic.
Last night was it. Tara, I think we need to get, because our friend Mary Putnam, who's a bartender for years here in town, always referred to Jell-O shots as the white trash shot of, we should, dude, can we get some syringes here for Jell-O shots?
They had great big syringes. You got like 10 for $10.
No.
No? Steiner's is too classy for the white trash shots?
I can't do that.
I know. You have a
Everything
reputation.
in me says that's wrong.
It is wrong. It is wrong.
But it was fun.
I mean, we could have a house party at my home and do those for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we can do them in Indianapolis this Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Tara and I'm in a competition at Bonkers at Latitude in Indianapolis, and Tara, our friend Amy, and our friend Josette were all going to Indianapolis. So
I wasn't invited.
I wonder why.
It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be bad.
It's gonna be bad, and I don't. We might make the news. I don't know. The four of us have never actually went out together like this. I know you and I have had some newsworthy evenings in the past.
And Josette and I have had some newsworthy evenings.
Yes.
Actually, Josette and I and Brian Douglas Day have had some pretty miraculous evenings.
Awesome.
BDD and I got really hammered in Columbus. Well, we all did that night at the Woodlands in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, that was really drunk.
Or the Woodlands in Columbus, yeah, we were.
I didn't know that I know the words to Cruise, that, what is it, Florida Georgia Line song.
Yeah.
I never knew I knew the words to that song until Brian Douglas Day got me so hammered on Jägermeister that I started singing and dancing to it.
It's like Truth Serum.
Around a pool table.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't know that I know it, but there was enough people around when I did it that it's pretty much, it's factual.
I'm
that many people can't lie on me. Like, I know those words.
I know there were some suspicious looking Snapchats of you and I floating around at one point. I'm really glad those are now lost in the files of my life.
Nothing ever goes away, though. If we
And
dug
the
far
trolley
enough, we
stop?
could find it.
Oh, yes. When we were with Tim Spores of Skillless Villains out of Dayton, who we'll talk to here in a couple weeks also about doing some music. He lives in Austin now. But yeah, the trolley stop, that was, wow, the trolley stop in Dayton. It's a great place to go. It's kind of the Steiner Speakeasy of Dayton. Their bars are similar. You guys are similar. They have craft beers, revolving kegs.
Yeah,
And,
that's an awesome bar. That's like my main stop when I go to Dayton.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, definitely try. And they have a great menu
food.
too.
Oh, my gosh,
yeah.
their
Oh.
lunch menu is ridiculous.
Yeah, Danny tears it up there. But I think we're going to wrap this show up this week. We'd like to thank, as always, Tara of Steiner Speakeasy in Chillicothe for letting us use her establishment to record our show.
Let's get the plugs in, Tara. Where can we find you at online?
You can find us on Facebook, Steiner Speakeasy on Facebook. You can also get us on Twitter at Speakeasy45601.
Yes.
You can check out my blog. It will be live April 1st, Hops and Heels. And so that's how you can find me.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you for our beer. Well, we drank the Stone Brewing Company this week. And what were we drinking once again from Stone?
Stone Coffee Milk Stout and Cali Belgique.
So thank you, Stone Brewing, for sponsoring our alcohol intake tonight, even though you don't know you're doing it. We still give you a shout out. Carlin, you got anything else before I take us out of here?
Well, you can email us at at lncshow.com. No, I've got to quit drinking. My brain is shot. lncshow@yahoo.com is our email address. Please send us emails and tell us how much you hate Lori and love me.
Yeah.
Tara, we're just going to live neutral because she hasn't earned my wrath yet. What else do we got going on?
We've got a comedy show here at Steiner Speakeasy.
On the 24th
of March. Yes, we do. We've got Brian Million, Patsy B, and Phil Pointer and myself. Tara, not only, what we've mentioned before, supports music in this area, but she's also a supporter of comedy, which is great.
And unfortunately, on March 24th, I can't come to that because I have a show at the University of Rio Grande. Headliner Jay Snyder with Mr. Marcus Oglesby again. And then Jonathan Craig's going to come down and open the show up for us.
Yay, Jonathan, my friend Jonathan. I like Jonathan. I like Jonathan
cool.
Time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I never noticed.
I know. Jonathan knows. He's like my comedy crush.
He gave me a tagline for one of my jokes. I love him forever. He's cool.
That's a great show you have coming up in Rio, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks, thank you for being with us this week. We are the Lori and Carlin Show. My name is Lori Graves.
I'm Carlin Hagerty.
And we're going to have Brian Douglas Day take us out with a song we recorded live here at Steiner Speakeasy this week. You can find us on GoneRogueRadio.com. Every week we're coming to you from Steiner Speakeasy. Thank you and have a great week.
I wrote this song. You know what, Lori? I wish I had a better story. I don't. Okay. No, what it was about is the drummer PJ and his girlfriend broke up, and I was like, well, there goes the band, pretty much. And I was thinking to myself, about if they would get back together, the band would stay together, should bring the band back. That's a basic idea. The whiskey's gone, so I am home, but I can't drink enough to get a dial tone. To speak to the woman who lives next door. For 7 long months she's lived on my floor, so I step back, I'm under attack. I took my own 2 years, as a matter of fact. A girl lives of course and lives next door. For 7 long months I'm trying to ignore this room. When chest goes boom, it's the only sound in this empty room. But you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. And now my chest goes boom, and it's the only sound in this empty room. But now you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. And now soon, baby, soon, you'll be over by 10, I'm here by noon. And now you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. The whiskey's gone, so I am home, and I just drink enough to get a dial tone. I spoke to the woman who lives next door. For 7 long months she's lived on my floor, so I step back, I'm under attack. But to my own 2 years, as a matter of fact. No one is a coach who lives next door. Standing on once and trying to ignore this hole. My chest goes boom, it's the only sound in this fucking room. But you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. And now boom, my chest goes boom, and it's the only sound in this empty room. And now you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. And now soon, baby, soon, could be all that if I knew it. Now you got that song to bring the band on back and move us all along. My chest goes boom. It's the only sound in this empty room. And now you got that song to bring the band on back and mama's all along. And now boom, my chest goes boom. And it's the only sound in this empty room. And now you got that song, bring the band on back and mama's all along. And now soon, baby, soon,